They come out here in the eye. Now a former New Mexico Lobo, it's Jarrell Pressler. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. An entire crew of Raiders, an entourage there to make the tackle. Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
Jason Verrett may not have ideal size as a cornerback, but no one plays the ball better in the air than the guy I call Mighty Mouse.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And McManus missed it. How about that? No good. Wide to the left. And this will remain a scoreless game. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. On 1st down, Wentz. He's got Fuller. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Throwing on 1st is Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So the offense has it 1st and 10. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the 1st.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Aaron Donald in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. That is caught inside the 5. 23 yards on the play. And in this weather, I know you weren't a quarterback, you were on the defensive side of things, but how hard is it to throw that football?
It can't be easy because you never know how the moisture is going to affect things, and each quarterback handles it differently. Some of them are a little bit better than others. Depends whether they'll wear a glove, not wear.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Corey Coleman, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
the timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Here we go now. Check. Patriot.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out.
Right. 3 down. Here we go now.
They'll drop to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dante Hightower in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Raiders will take possession. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have it. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
They come out here in the eye. They'll run again with Bernard. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here.
Detroit! Here we go now.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
Let's go. Feed like that, Philly. Here we go. Over.
Wentz. He finds Coleman. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now Wentz. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Out of the gun now on third down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Wentz going to throw to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more of the AFC Championship game after this. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
Hurry up, here we go. Detroit!
On second down, here's Wentz. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third.
Here we go.
Now Wentz on third down. He drops it off for Bernard. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
Wentz now to throw. Going up top. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it will wind up just being incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. He's going to take another shot here. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. Now Wentz on the screen, Bernard. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now on 4th down, Jack Del Rio's going to send on the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. That's going left, and Prater missed it. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
And to give this time to the tailback. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And now here's a carry heading left. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Let's go. Green 39.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
Here we go now.
Now a carry for Bernard. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So we come upon halftime in the AFC title game, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken very short. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case...
And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 61 yards. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. So the D-line's going to spread out. On first down, Wentz. He's got Fuller. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
Wide open receiver complete. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Underneath, this is Bernard. They'll give him 8 on the play, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That one goes for 24 yards. And let's not take for granted, in these conditions, that's never an easy pass and catch.
You really got to find a way to drive the ball. You know, get your grip. You know, that's why we see some of the guys now, they put the gloves on when they throw the ball in this type of a condition.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And they'll go on the ground. They find some open field here. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. With now his 2nd touchdown of this third quarter. And now the Ravens, they're just a 2-point conversion away from tying this up. And now here's a carry heading left. And this time he'll be stopped short of the goal line. He might have been out of gas after the long run. In any event, the try for two fails. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Now Wentz throwing on second down. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on third. And the back goes into motion. From the gun on third down, Wentz. He drops it off for Bernard. Give him 3 on the play. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. Here we go on fourth down with Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
So 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium here. Time running out here on the play clock. Now they try the right side here. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. He'll drop to throw. And it is incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
12 yards there as they move the chains. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
To throw, it's Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Wentz will try again on second down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Back now in Baltimore. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. So 2nd and 10 here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go now.
Wentz to throw on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now Wentz on third down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open.
There he goes left side. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there, saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Ravens have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Now McManus for the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Check, Patriot! Patriot! Set! Blue! Back it up! Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Back it up! Now, lucky 56! Lucky 56! Here we go! Blue! Line!
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And the wideout in motion. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he'll give it here to his running back. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see? that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time, one play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Here we go. Watching now, Barney.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And that will be incomplete as well.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Throwing now is Wentz. And no, it's incomplete. A gutsy call by Jack Del Rio, but it does not pay off. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense.
Here we go now. 319. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Let's go. 319. 319.
The play clock's running down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Time for a break. Back to wrap up the AFC Championship game after this. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll run it here. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. So the folks on hand here growing a little restless with their kicking game. That's now 2 misses so far.
And in a tight game, fourth quarter, the fans aren't the only ones getting restless, Brandon. There were a few looks of disbelief on that sideline as well.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. He'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. 12 yards on the pickup, and the Raiders are going to have a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. To throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. They have the lead. Still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now. Just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And ready for 3rd and 6. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Here's Jeff Locke now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball. if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.